Eddie Hearn has finally addressed the boxing world's burning question about why Jaron "Boots" Ennis turned down the lucrative offer to fight Vergil Ortiz Jr., providing much-needed clarity on this developing situation. The Matchroom Sport chairman explained in detail that while both fighters and their teams are eager to make this explosive welterweight showdown happen, the timing simply wasn't right for this particular offer. Hearn revealed that his organization had initially accepted an August 16th date for what promises to be one of the most anticipated fights in recent memory, but Ortiz's camp indicated they needed more preparation time. When Turki Alalshik's representatives subsequently proposed a November 22nd date as an alternative, Ennis was already contractually committed to another bout scheduled for late September or early October. Hearn emphasized this decision wasn't about avoiding a dangerous opponent like Ortiz, but rather an unavoidable scheduling conflict that prevented the fight from being made at this specific juncture, though he assured fans it will happen when the timing is perfect for both elite competitors. The savvy promoter provided valuable insight into Ennis's carefully planned career trajectory, explaining that the undefeated Philadelphia Phenom is strategically transitioning to the 154-pound division. Hearn stressed the importance of allowing Boots to properly acclimate to his new weight class before jumping straight into a high-stakes battle with a dangerous puncher like Ortiz. This measured approach demonstrates smart career management, giving Ennis the opportunity to test the waters at junior middleweight while keeping all options open for future super fights. Hearn was adamant that this delay doesn't diminish the fight's eventual significance. If anything, it might elevate the matchup's profile even further. He compared the situation to allowing a fine wine to properly age, suggesting the additional time will only increase fan anticipation and potentially lead to an even bigger platform when these two warriors finally collide in what promises to be an unforgettable encounter. Hearn offered a compelling technical breakdown of how he envisions the potential fight unfolding, giving Ortiz full credit as an elite-level opponent while maintaining his firm belief in Ennis's superiority. The promoter highlighted Boots' exceptional ring IQ, lightning-fast reflexes, defensive mastery, and overall complete skill set as the decisive factors that would ultimately determine the contest's outcome. Hearn's confidence was so absolute that he jokingly suggested fans save the interview and replay it after the fight as evidence of his prescient prediction. This level of conviction underscores how highly Hearn regards Ennis, viewing him as a once-in-a-generation talent operating on a different plane than his welterweight contemporaries. The promoter's analysis transcended typical hype, providing substantive reasons why he believes Ennis would handle Ortiz convincingly when they eventually share the ring in what could become an instant classic. The conversation naturally explored why this particular matchup has captured the imagination of boxing enthusiasts worldwide, with Hearn eloquently explaining its significance in the current landscape. Both Ennis and Ortiz represent the vanguard of the welterweight division, undefeated knockout artists boasting fan-friendly styles that virtually guarantee fireworks. Their clash carries the potential to redefine the 147-pound hierarchy for years to come, serving as a definitive passing of the torch moment for boxing's new generation. Hearn acknowledged the understandable frustration fans feel when dream matchups fail to materialize, but offered firm assurance that this situation differs fundamentally from other perpetually discussed but never made fights. He stressed that Ennis Ortiz is an inevitability rather than a mere possibility, with only the exact timing remaining to be determined as both fighters continue their respective paths toward this collision course. Hearn forcefully dismissed any insinuations that Ennis might be deliberately avoiding Ortiz, calling such notions completely baseless and contrary to Boots' established track record of seeking challenges. He reminded skeptics that Ennis has consistently pursued the toughest available opposition throughout his rapid ascent up the welterweight ranks, never showing hesitation to test himself against elite competition. The delay, Hearn clarified, stems from a desire to ensure optimal conditions for both combatants rather than any apprehension about the matchup itself. With Ennis transitioning weight classes and Ortiz returning from an extended layoff, rushing into this high-stakes encounter would serve neither fighter's long-term interests. The additional time allows both men to enter the ring at their absolute peaks, maximizing the likelihood of a classic encounter that lives up to its considerable hype and satisfies the lofty expectations of discerning boxing fans. Hearn also took time to acknowledge Turki Alalshik's influential role in attempting to make this fight happen, praising the Saudi advisor's commitment to staging major boxing events. While expressing appreciation for Alalshik's efforts, Hearn explained that even with significant financial resources and influence, some fights require perfect timing to reach their full potential. He compared the situation to allowing a spectacular fireworks display to be properly orchestrated. The components are all there, but the impact depends on precise execution. The extra time might ultimately lead to an even grander stage for the matchup, possibly a stadium spectacular or major pay-per-view event that captures the attention of casual sports fans alongside hardcore boxing enthusiasts. Hearn's perspective reflects his deep understanding of how to maximize a fight's commercial potential while ensuring the athletic competition itself meets the highest standards. Looking ahead to the near future, Hearn provided a realistic timeline for when fans can expect to see Ennis and Ortiz finally square off, estimating early 2025 as the most likely window. He mentioned December through February as probable months for the showdown, depending on how both fighters emerge from their upcoming commitments. Hearn's message to impatient fans was one of reassurance. This brief delay will be worth the wait when they finally witness what could become one of the defining fights of this boxing era. He painted a vivid picture of two young, hungry, undefeated fighters with everything to prove stepping into the ring at their absolute peaks, creating the perfect conditions for an unforgettable battle. The promoter's vision suggests that when Ennis and Ortiz do meet, it will be under circumstances that allow the matchup to transcend typical boxing events and become a true cultural moment in sports. Hearn also offered valuable insight into the complex business considerations that influence major fight negotiations in today's boxing landscape. He explained how intricate deal-making becomes when multiple promoters, networks, sanctioning bodies, and scheduling conflicts enter the equation. In this specific case, the initial August date fell through due to Ortiz's preparation timeline, and by the time November was proposed, Ennis had already committed to another bout. Hearn emphasized that these types of delays are commonplace in boxing and shouldn't be interpreted as either side lacking commitment to making the fight happen. What truly matters, he stressed, is that all parties remain aligned in their desire to stage this compelling matchup when the circumstances are ideal for both fighters to showcase their best versions in the ring. The veteran promoter concluded with a powerful endorsement of Jaron Ennis's potential, reiterating his belief that the Philadelphia star is destined to establish himself as the premier welterweight of his generation. Hearn's confidence in Ennis extends beyond typical promoter hype. It's a genuine conviction based on years of observing elite talent and understanding what separates good fighters from great ones. He promised fans that when Ennis and Ortiz do finally meet, it will be an electrifying showdown that justifies all the anticipation and speculation. For now, Hearn asked for patience from the boxing world, assuring everyone that the wait will be rewarded with a fight that exceeds expectations and potentially redefines the welterweight division. The countdown to Ennis Ortiz may have been delayed slightly, but according to Hearn, the eventual collision will be all the more spectacular for it.